could be waived
Yeah.
if it was cost prohibitive.
Yep.
Wasn't necessary.
In the old days, it was how many square feet is the building?
Mm-hmm,
What are the building materials? And how close to the adjacent buildings?
Yeah. And I think as long as we all come to, as long as we're on the same page, one way or another, that's fine.
Almost. We have to turn our mics on.
And green go. Is that me?
All right, 6 o'clock. Call the meeting to order. Roll call. Becky Kleinert.
Here.
Kathy Noblock.
Here.
Randy Day.
Here.
Bob Minty. Here. Burton Lavins.
Here.
Jim Kleinert. All right, Pledge of Allegiance. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. So, I think I shared the memo we got from the commissioners about designating a committee secretary. So, instead of naming one, is there anybody who wants to volunteer?
What are the duties required of the committee secretary?
You would be taking the meeting notes and preparing the meeting minutes.
Well, you asked, so
You
we're
asked the
looking
question,
at
does that
you.
mean you volunteered? Well, I did it after the last one, so it's not. It just takes you about a half hour after the meeting,
Yeah.
depending on what comes up, so. It's not like the 2-hour city council
Right.
marathon.
Right, we're a little more cut and dried in here.
I'll give it a shot.
Kathy?
Thank you.
All right.
I would, but if you see him, my handwriting.
I vote aye.
All right, so Kathy nominated herself. Any further nominations?
Someone's today.
So you want to make a motion to make Kathy the committee secretary?
I will make a motion to make Kathy the secretary.
Second? Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay. So we have to do the approval of the 7/28/26 meeting minutes, which I forgot to bring with me, but I think I sent to everybody. Where we? Shoot.
Was it the similar minutes to the,
They would. The only thing we added was that you were present, and we had the discussion about the standing meeting the second Wednesday of every month.
Yep.
And that was pretty much it. And, well, and the other language was the same, like we recommended no for the building improvement part, but yes for the facade, but, you know, we wouldn't be opposed to them approving the
Right.
the building grant, so. We have a motion to approve the minutes,
I'll make a motion to approve minutes from the last meeting.
second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right. Any public comment on agenda items?
Nope.
All right, okay, we'll discuss and act on the Johnny Inc. grant request. You saw the request. Couple of the first things we need to resolve before we get into the numbers is it a Group A or a Group B building? So Group A is basically an existing business, and Group B is a vacant building or a new business that hasn't owned the building for more than 90 days.
Yep.
So, I think this comes in as a vacant building in my mind. I don't know if
Mhm.
anybody.
Yep.
All right. I don't think we need to vote on that. We just kind of start with that.
Yep.
We can put that in our final motion, if that's all right with everybody. The next thing to set up is the amount of grant dollars changes depending on what the length of facade is. So if it's less than 75 feet, that's one grant category. If it's 75 feet or more, It's a different grant category. This building, the front is 65 feet. The north side is substantially visible as you drive southbound on Columbia.
Hmm.
So, do we count part of that as the facade and say it's more than 75 feet or not? I can tell you that the design review committee, which 3 of us were on, right? Which you, Karen, you were on,
I'm not anything.
at the time you were. Oh, no, I'm sorry, it was Karen. I'm sorry, it was Karen Watson, so Bert and I were there. That their original presentation had no windows in that north wall.
Correct, it was just gonna be
And
solid.
we said, oh, no, we can't have just a blank brick wall, you gotta put in some windows. So they put in windows.
Mhm.
So what's everybody's thoughts on about 65 or 75 feet more or less?
And the difference would be a maximum grant amount of $20,000.
It's group B, so it'd be 25 or 35.
Oh, okay, you decided on group B?
Well,
Be group
didn't we-
B.
Okay,
Well,
I think so.
yeah,
okay, or 25 or 35,000 then.
So group B would be 35.
if we said it's 70, more than 75
Right.
feet.
Right.
So,
So we're going group B, new ownership under 90 days?
no, vacant building.
Vacant building, I thought
Yeah.
that was A, my bad.
No, that's an existing business is A.
Existing versus vacant.
Right. Right.
I mean, I could go either way,
I'm just
to
gonna
be honest
pose-
with you.
I'm gonna be the damn devil's advocate because I have turned into that person. If we do it on this one and we're now removing the facade, front facade as the determining length,
Uh-huh.
going forward, we're gonna have to take this into consideration for every other building that comes
Right.
into play.
Right.
So do we just wanna update the language to reflect,
Well, we'd have to get the council to do that.
oh, gotcha.
That's not our purview to do that.
You know,
I mean, we have some leeway in interpretation, and we can tell them in our motion that we took that into account and said it's 75 foot or greater. And they can agree or disagree with that.
and what was what did you say the front was? With-
65,
So it's close.
it's close, right.
And it's a loss of it's a difference of 35,000, you said, Becky?
10,000.
10,000 difference?
Yeah, I think as long as there's so much traffic coming south to north, they're gonna see that.
Right,
And that building, from what I see in the picture, appears, if they do that, it's gonna be a very nice looking building.
Mhm.
So why don't we let them do it?
Right.
And do it nicely so people see a nice building.
Yeah.
Not that it wouldn't be without it, probably, but it'd be just even better with it, in my mind.
In the rules that talk about eligible improvements, it said facade improvements must be clearly visible from the public right of way. And that side is clearly visible from the public right of way.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Yeah.
it probably, maybe at some point, we might ask that facade be explained, defined better, if we want to, but I honestly, I think in my opinion, I think that counts, especially since the design review board, which is in charge of looking at facades, included those recommendations in their report.
Right, so we should basically, in your opinion, take that into consideration, because it
Yes.
was already mentioned. Yep. And it's, like you said,
And
it's
they did make
it's
the changes
unobstructed.
that the design review board
Yep.
asked them to do.
If they have that in their verbiage, I think that's a good way to, I like that.
So DNR would only, or whatever the abbreviation for that board would be, the design and review board, would that normally only be the facade would be their technical
No, the
jurisdiction?
physical-
But because so much of the north
the
side
physical appearance of the building,
in general,
in general, does the building aesthetics fit the neighborhood
Right.
and the adjacent buildings? For instance, there have been people that come in and wanted to build a metal building, metal sided building, right? west of Dr., who is it? What's the dentist name down there now?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Alliance
so
or
they
whatever
wanted,
it is.
and we just said, no, we,
Right, we don't want a tin building.
we don't, yeah, that's not,
It's
we
kinda
don't
how
want
I
an
came to
agricultural
mind.
style building
Yeah.
in our business district, so it's that kind of deal.
Yeah.
I will tell you that they're not the first people to use grant money for a side. That Caracol's building down there, when they painted that side that runs on whatever that street is, I don't know what the street names.
Yeah.
And that has the stairs going up to the second level, that was all done with facade money.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're all kind of in agreement then, it's considered greater than 75 feet?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
just wanted to clarify how we were gonna
We'll put it all in the
address
motion.
that in the future, and I'm good
Yeah.
with that, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, if you can see it for more than a couple seconds, I mean, a flash, if you
Yeah.
happen to look,
Right, right.
that's no, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You can see
And
that for a long
I
way.
think we even, there's some,
Laundromat, you did the laundromat too.
right.
Hmm.
But then there was a building, it's a building Lizzie's in now. They wanted to do something on their wall, but Hunter's building was so close to it, we said, no, there's not enough there
Yeah, to see it.
to see it. So, all right.
Nope, I like that.
And then, just for clarification of everybody, it's in the facade program notes, or whatever you wanna call it, that we were given, that the design review board has to look at a building in the right areas, okay? So there has been a question, was, did the design review board meet? The answer to that question is yes. They met the first time on July 16th of last year. They presented drawings to us. At that meeting, we discussed with them making sure that the enclosure for the trash was a vinyl fence instead of a chain link fence. We discussed with them that we wanted windows in the north wall. We discussed with them signage, that you're only allowed one sign, so the sign on the face of the building they could keep, but the one they were posting in the parking lot had to go. And then we pointed out to them that the number of parking stalls didn't meet criteria, so they had to add more parking stalls. And all that was in the general purview of the design review board.
Mm-hmm.
At one point in the meeting, I put on my structural engineer's hat and said, hey, the area over the basement, I think you need to go back and look at your floor framing, because I don't think it's sufficient with the new use. And then I also pointed out to them that you need to go back and check the building foundations,
Yep.
because we're putting a significant larger load on them,
Right.
all right? So when they came back on the 22nd to meet again, they made all those changes. They addressed the floor framing. The only thing they didn't address was the foundations. And Burton and I are dealing with that now with their building permit application. So just to be clear, the design review board met twice,
Yep.
and we're happy with the results.
Yep.
So peers are very cooperative.
Pardon me?
Peers are very cooperative.
Yeah, yeah. I don't think they understand what I'm telling them with the foundations, but we'll get
Right.
through.
Yeah.
So there's been a pre-inspection already of the property, since you guys, I don't know if that was just incidentally through the design and review, or but
No.
you guys have already gone through it.
We wouldn't, with this building, with the amount of reservations they're making, a pre-inspection would be a
Pointless.
waste of time.
We're gonna pretty much gut and
Start over.
rebuild, yeah.
Right, so,
There's gonna be some major changes.
so Burton and the plumbing guy, Stout?
Al.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know, we'd be looking at it during the reconstruction process to address that
And
stuff.
it'll all have to be to code because it's more than 50%.
And I think we're still waiting. I don't know if they ever had an actual structural engineer sign off on that.
They have not, that's,
Okay, I knew that we talked about it, and there was a little bit of a hang up there.
right. So
Once we
yesterday I
cross
got
that.
a copy of the building permit, and I got the name of the company who's the general contractor. I'm going to reach out to them tomorrow. I need to
Perfect.
get it done today, and we'll
Yep.
see what happens. So the next thing we have are the cost estimates. And they didn't break things out by facade and building improvements, they just gave us 2 bids for the entire project. The low bid was from MCK Construction for a total price of $575,100. So we're talking huge numbers. So the only thing we need to try to identify is how much of that is facade improvements and how much is in building improvements, right? So the second bid was more detailed, and their price was 1.2 million.
Yep.
So my thinking is, okay, we can look at the high bid, divide their numbers by 2.
Yep.
And see how that looks.
Yep.
Compared to the numbers we're looking at. So, anybody?
Is there an issue that none of these are local bids?
So Becky pointed out to me that the preference is that you use local contractors, but that's only a preference, that's not a
Okay.
requirement. So,
The exact wording is the city recommends that projects be completed using local Illinois Valley area contractors when possible.
right, so it recommends, but it doesn't require.
You know,
I would have been interested in finding out if they had actually consulted in the area with a contractor to find out.
yeah. Set it out to bid with local contractors to see where they're at. Yep. And I think they're from, are they not from up in that neck of the woods where these bids came from? I
think
believe
so.
I think they're, so maybe they have some prior experience with them, but, yeah.
Or either one of these.
Yeah, so the owners are from Plainfield, and MCK,
Hanover Park.
Yep.
And
And
Elgin.
so
The
it's,
other one's Elgin.
yeah, so, yeah, they have, MCK is the general contractor, G&A Plumbing is the plumbing contractor, Impact Builders would be the roofing contractor, MCK Construction is going to do electrical themselves, the carpentry is Bob Carpentry, Inc., and the cement and concrete is 88 Construction, none of which are here.
Right.
We got 847, 224, and 630 area codes.
And are we gonna require that they register with the city and get the
They will have
contractor
to.
They will
permit?
have to.
They'll be required to show proof of insurance and all that.
How are we enforcing that? I mean, I don't mean we really, how is,
The building inspector and
How are you
girls in the
enforcing
office typically, when they receive a, building permit, they'll go through the list of contractors, and if they are not
Yeah.
on the list, they will either tell the owner or the general contractor, or they might even call if their phone number's provided and tell those people that they need to get a contractor's license. And they
Right.
typically send it to them. And then, obviously, if they start working and the truck shows up with a name on it that isn't registered, City Hall usually finds out
Yep.
one way or another.
I had one this morning that stopped, so,
And then Burton takes care of it.
yep.
okay. That
And that'll be
answers my
easy for
question.
me to police that one. So I go by it every day.
So we, as the grant committee, would have to take the lower of the 2 bids here, so we're looking at the 575.
Right.
Um,
So if we just kind of run down the list from the high bidder and just
Yep. Because they have it all
Just-
in one.
divide their
yeah, I
improvements.
kinda don't like how
Yeah.
this is.
So I think you're just trying to go off of the high bid
Ballpark
proportionally.
it, because these numbers are so huge, I
Yes.
think we're gonna get to the 35,000 pretty quick, right? Because with Group B, it's 75% of the cost. So if it's a $10,000 item, you get 7,500.
Right.
Right.
And then if there's something inside the building that's 10,000, you get 7,500. That's 15,000.
Well, I think those things that qualify for the facade improvement are gonna do that, because the new roof qualifies as part of facade. The windows, the ADA entrance, so all of those things are probably gonna be well.
So it'd be easier for us to go down the list and say what is not at that point? Or would that complicate things?
It's not broken down.
Yeah, that's,
Well, I mean, off the higher bid.
Well,
Because they're-
I think if, we might be able to pick out three things to get us to a big number divided by 2 and take 75% of it and say, ooh, that's 30,000 already,
Right, we're good.
check.
That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
Instead of going line by line of what we can do,
Right, so,
what we can't do.
but we need to see, because we're not covering, like, nobody could come in here and upgrade their building and get a grant for it. There's certain things that we cover under the facade grant,
right,
which qualifies for certain improvements under permanent items.
I don't even think
No,
with
permanent.
the improvements they're doing, Brandy, they're gonna even go into the building improvements and have to prove any of that. I think that what they're putting into the facade is gonna max out the grant.
Gotcha.
They can only
So
get
they
a
wouldn't
certain
even
amount.
attempt to put any on permanent improvements to get to the 35.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna need any.
We're gonna blow
additional
right
to
past
get
it.
to 35.
Gotcha.
Right, just on the facade, we'll get
right.
there.
So for instance, to get 35,000, 75% of that means that you have to have almost 47,000 in facade improvements.
Mhm.
So we'll just look at some numbers and see if we get to 47,000.
Yeah.
right? So as I run down the list, we could get into some of the general conditions, but we'll leave that alone.
Yep.
Selected site demolition, no, we don't need to get into that one. The concrete and structural steel, that's more the permanent improvements.
Yep.
The framing, drywall, and ceilings, again, that's permanent improvements. So facades, doors, frames, hardwares, and glass, I think that 55,000
Yep.
would qualify. And then we have plumbing, no, HVAC, no. Electrical and lighting, yes, some of it could be, but it's hard to say, so let's just,
Yep.
unless we need it, let's leave it alone. Exterior improvements / ADA, there's another 55,000, right?
Yeah.
But what are they talking about exterior improvements?
What's that?
What are they,
So I would imagine the exterior improvements are lighting,
but there's electrical and
parking
lighting.
lot. Would that be considered exterior improvement?
Well, the ADA ramps, they cite
Ramp, okay, yep.
ADA, and you got sightings and stuff like that, so. Just those two add up to 110,
Mm-hmm.
divide it by 2, that gets you back to 55, and we're over 47,000.
Yeah, super quick and easy.
Right? And if somebody wants to dispute that and say, let's just take 60% of that number, okay, well, how hard is it gonna be to find another 10,000 in the rest of the building?
Right, because you could easily go into some
Electrical.
of these improvements or the electrical and say lighting, whether it's inside or outside.
Right,
And they will also have to provide receipts. So I'm sure once they get the receipts from the contractor, it's gonna be broken down further.
You would hope so.
you would hope so.
I don't know how
But-
they're gonna
but-
have
Can we start
a work.
requesting, like,
It requires that, and if whoever processes it at the end follows the rules.
But this is a lump sum bid, so their invoices could be 100% complete. Here's a check for $575,100. That's our receipt.
Yeah,
Well, they're gonna have to.
but they'll have to break that down and
they're gonna have
itemize
to
it.
break it down.
I mean, I get asked all the time to break down bids. I don't think it's an
Right. You can't
unattainable
get to
thing
this
to
bid.
ask them to say, hey, at least for your first draw, if you're pulling for your
Yep.
facade grant payment out of here, break it down for us so that we have some kind of record of
Okay.
where the money went.
Right.
Only because this is FOIA-able information, right? If we don't keep it neat, then does that put us at a liability? And we're going with half of these numbers?
This one I just ballpark. I mean,
Right, since they
if
didn't
you wanna use
itemize it.
40% of them, I don't care. Again, 40% of 55 is gonna be more than 47, so.
Well, I don't think any contractor that works up a bid is not going to itemize it. Whether or not it's on the bid, we don't see it, but
Right.
you'd be pretty crazy
Somewhere
that
it's in an
somewhere you
Excel
have to figure that out.
Somewhere,
Right,
yeah.
it's just not in front of us for the low bid.
Right.
But I guess you could throw a bid out there without itemizing it, but I don't know who stays in business doing that very long. Be a pretty silly bid at $500,000 to not itemize it. So I think, going back to that, I don't think that should be an issue for them to give this at.
So,
I'm sorry I'm making us all catch up on the discussions that I didn't really get to catch up on since it's so long in between. I gotta refresh the brain and I wasn't here for the last refresher course.
I had the same questions.
we'll take any other questions you have and try our best to answer them.
Okay, so to summarize, breaking down the 575,000 ballpark bid, based off of the $1.2 million bids itemized categories, and dividing that by 2 to get us closer to this low
Yeah.
estimate, we're looking at 55,000 in doors, frames, hardware, glass, clearly facade-related items, and exterior improvements, ADA, with another 55,000. So that takes us up to 110, bringing us back down to 55, and we are
Which is okay.
covering
75%.
75% of 55,000.
Right.
Yep.
So that's close to 40,000.
Yep, we're there.
We're there. And we didn't even look at building improvements.
Right.
Right.
If it was short,
I
we
mean,
could
if
spend
you-
the time.
If you wanted to say that the facade, we were off by a factor 2 and cut facade in half, we can go get what we need
Yeah.
in the building improvements in a heartbeat.
Yep.
I kind of feel like this is a bon voyage, right? There was just so much being done out there that this is a drop in the pond compared to what they're investing into it.
They actually had everything broken down, though, I will give the
At Bon
contractor who
Voyage.
did that.
Yeah, we had the paint and everything, to the materials on the paint that we could cover, and, yeah.
Hmm.
That was, local contractor, shout out.
Yeah. I wish these were.
I do too.
Yep.
Okay, so if there's no more questions, I think I'm looking for a motion that says that we,
Oh, I have questions.
okay, go ahead.
Okay, so I have checklists, mostly so that I can keep myself on track with, making sure that, I feel like we gave everything the adequate discussion. We're not just rubber stamping when people come in here. Everybody gets their fair shake. I'm officially the devil's advocate, like, expect this out
That's
of
good.
me.
Checks and balances.
So this simple checklist I made with check mark boxes off of the basic information that's already in the application. It lists bullet point for bullet point, all of the requirements. I just wanna make sure that us as the group have considered all of them, because it gets big and a lot of side conversations can happen and I can get distracted real easy. So we'll just bullet point these. Some of this may or may not particularly apply. I feel like I'm gonna have to update my checklist here into like group A, group B, and maybe some subsections, cause some stuff doesn't necessarily belong here. Any outstanding utility fines, fees, and taxes owed to the city, all must be paid in full. I don't think that there's anything going on in that building, right? So that's a no, not applicable for our situation. Any code violations noted on the property have been corrected or will be corrected in the scope of work. Sounds like you guys addressed some with the design and review. And there's some kind of plan in place for what didn't fully get addressed at the time, okay?
Mhm.
And the improvements are substantial, so
Yeah, there's no point in checking what they have now.
Right, it's gonna all
It's
get
gonna be gutted.
demoed and, project is consistent with the comp plan and zoning ordinances. They haven't, like, how would we even know that as the facade committee, if it didn't meet any of this?
Well, I don't know that
Well,
we're
it would-
charged with enforcing this, typically the clerk or
Okay.
the office in there,
Okay.
and ultimately the council makes the decision, so they're the ones that,
Okay. Not my
But
checklist.
I'm pretty sure it is, it's not in violation of ordinance, of the zoning ordinance. And the comprehensive plan is all about new businesses.
Mhm.
Okay. Project has been approved by design and review board, check ski. the next bullet point actually had to do with the owner not protesting assessor's determination of property values. That's something that's, out of our hands as well, right?
Well,
For the property
he signed
taxes?
it acknowledging that he signed
The form in here?
paperwork, so
Okay.
that would be the city's recourse if there was a,
Okay. Included. Our applicant is the owner, does not apply. Did you say they have applied for a building permit? They're
Yes.
working on it? Okay. Applied for building permit. No improvements have been made. I go next door all the time.
You know
No
that.
improvements.
You don't have to
They
answer
did
that.
cut the weeds down over there at some point this summer. It was looking real nice. Reimbursable labor costs must be performed by a licensed contractor. That is and also for the prevailing wage. Oh, so that was one of the things that I did have, questions on, was the verification of prevailing wages, because we did make that kind of a clause in the grant, was keeping it at prevailing wages. So how, it says they have to sign an affidavit. What is the affidavit?
so
Do-
what we did, because it used to be when, contractors did prevailing wage for a city job or city funds, they gave us the paperwork and we were responsible for holding it. Several years ago, they changed it and now that paperwork is filed electronically with the state. What we asked them to do is to pull off a blank sheet, fill it out and submit it with their request for the labor that they're asking to be reimbursed for. So when they give their final paperwork, there should be some sort of affidavit in there that shows, and I'm not sure exactly, I haven't dealt with one in a long time, but it shows their workers and their wages and how much they were paid and stuff like that, and they have to sign it.
Okay, cause I do certified payroll for federal schools,
Yeah.
grants and all sorts of stuff, and mine's online, so I
Yeah.
submit it online. So we don't have to go that far with this, they just fill out the affidavit,
Yeah.
sign it, and supply it to us?
Right.
Okay. It's a legal document. We recommend projects completed using local labor. We do recommend it. Facade will not be used for storage space, or supplies in the public view. Would that be during any of their updates? Or is this just,
When they're open,
okay,
when they're operating.
gotcha. You don't need to mark it for rent or for sale. Would that follow under something for a group A?
So for instance, we have a building downtown that got a grant, they haven't advertised, they haven't rented it, they should be given the money back. It's not our purview to tell the city that, the city's gotta figure it out and do it.
Gotcha, okay. Not applicable in this particular case. They're the owners and they're putting in their own store. They're not improving an existing building to sell or lease to somebody.
Right.
Provide proof of insurance on the building. That will be with the permit.
And that should probably be provided once everything is done.
Okay.
Just because obviously we don't want to fund a project that then goes up in smoke and we're
Right.
not able to rebuild it.
So when do they have to provide that?
With their request for payment, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Somebody's really not gonna insure it till they see it, right? I suppose they could base it off the plans, but.
Yeah.
Yeah, or the value it is at the time.
Yeah.
Big empty building right now. Okay, just making that note for my checklist. Complete the application, which we have, it's been submitted, we have the, beautiful blueprints. They've paid the fee. I'll check mark,
Okay,
right?
yeah, I think so.
Yep.
Okay. Schedule pre-application inspection by the city, I think we tied that back with, so much has to be done there,
Yeah.
yet that we just might as well inspect what's coming up
Yep.
instead of what they're gonna tear apart.
Yeah.
Not applicable to this situation.
file for a building permit, is that on here twice? I feel like that was on here already. Yes, it is. And they've gone through design and review board. Okay, we do have the 2 bids, and contractors must be approved license with the city of Oglesby. Well, nobody's technically been awarded anything yet, so I think that's just another thing that falls back with the city. City's in charge of patrolling that. What am I trying to say? Not patrol. Maybe
Enforce.
patrol. Yeah, policing it, enforcing it. Okay, that's all, that's my list. Anything we don't have check mark, is not necessarily applicable to our situation here. So thank you for going through that with me, guys. It makes me feel better.
I like that. Yep,
Maybe when I get it cleaned up, I can
I like that.
make copies.
All right.
Okay.
So I'm looking for a motion that says the committee deems this to be a Group B building because it's vacant, and that we, due to the exposure of the north wall, we deem that the facade length to be greater than 75 feet, and as such qualifies for a grant of $35,000 should the cost exceed $46,667.
$46,666.
Yeah.
I gotta write this down. That's a lot to say, Jim.
And based upon our review of their bids, we find that they're gonna far exceed that number
Yeah.
and we recommend award of the maximum grant of $35,000.
I'll attempt that.
Go for it.
I would like to make a motion to accept the application for the Oglesby Liquor Store for Group B, and we are deeming it over 75-foot facade length to qualify for maximum grant amount of $35,000.
Yep.
Was that it? Was there more? I feel like there's supposed to be
And based upon the numbers submitted, will far exceed the required expenditure, what did I say, $46,667.
And we anticipate, based on estimates submitted, they will exceed the minimum $46,666 to qualify.
For the 35, correct.
Who's gonna repeat that on the second?
I'll second it.
Ditto.
All right, so we have a motion by Brandy, a second by Becky. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, motion carries. Recommend that they award a $35,000 grant. Any other public comments? Austin, you got any public comments for us? All right. Just to give you a warning, the girls keep telling me about another one that's coming in. I checked the other day to make sure, Friday I checked to make sure it wasn't in yet, so, but we expected it any time. So,
Austin, have you guys had a talk about if there's any sort of cap on this, on your year's spent, if you're needed for like $100,000 a year?
what's that?
Or just
Oh, okay.
Talking about which one's coming in.
All right, so would somebody like to make a motion to adjourn?
Make motion adjourn.
second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thanks, folks.
So,